Okay. Welcome to episode 2 of The Witcher, season 3. What we're going to do is we're continuing from the last time, and why did my music shut off? Last time, Jute and Morazzo had went to a town of Arendelle, looking for. They had heard that there was work there. They were given a contract to kill a manticore, which they did, and on the way back they found some sort of strange item, and also were attacked by what appeared to be cultists on the way back. And as you head back into the town, Morazzo has went to alert the rest of the Black Company, while meantime Devnet had gone to the town to scout out and see where you guys were because you were a little late getting back. So we're going to start in the town with Dev. Give me a sec here. Can you see?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. DevNet has been traveling up the road this morning to try to reach this town, which she does without problem. She finds the gate wide open with no guards set. It doesn't appear that this is normal, as there is a gate that can be latched from the inside with a bar. But there happens to be no guards. She also, as she looks into the street, there is no one around. What she knows is Jute and Morazzo, part of the Black Company, had come here the previous day to find work, and they had not yet returned. And instead of leading the entire Black Company into some sort of trap or into something that she did not know what was, she came by herself to scout out the town. And I'll let you go ahead and post your intro. Or
Dev approaches the gate, at first at kind of a brisk jog. She has taken to wearing like a little capelet over her right shoulder, hiding where her arm is missing. But as she approaches and notices how quiet it is, she slows down and her step takes on a more measured, cautious pace, and she unconsciously kind of slips into her stalking mode, the way she walks when she's in the forest hunting prey. She approaches the gate and looks through, noting that there's no one around. Scans the area for any sign of Jute and Morazzo, or sign that there was some sort of struggle or tumult or something, broken barrels, blood on the ground. She walks through, looking for some clue as to where they are and what's happened. This isn't right.
The first signs, you don't hear or see anything that appears to be of interest besides the silence. But after a moment, exiting a building is a strange looking, what you can only assume is an elf, with pale skin and red stained lips with red eyes.
This isn't an elf town, is it?
No, it is not.
No. Does he see her?
You're not sure. He just exits a building. And,
I think she would kind of try to flatten herself against the side of the building and observe him, undetected.
Sure, can you give me a stealth roll? I believe that is good enough. 23 versus a 21, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't seem to see you. Kind of turns down the other way and begins walking, and then turns the corner and you lose sight of him. Meanwhile, you do hear this kind of loud, not banging, but clomp, 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 like somebody's walking in armor.
She takes a look at the back of this strange elf, but then heads quickly toward the sound of that armor, thinking that it might be Jute.
And you turn the corner and you do see him walking in through a smaller side gate into the town from a small trail, it appears, or a small road. And you guys spot each other.
A little bit of tension goes out of her shoulders as she sees him, but then her lips press into a grim line as she kind of jogs toward him. As they get close enough to be in speaking distance, without shouting, she says, "What's going on here? This town's, it's dead. We just saw an elf as pale as snow with blood all over his mouth."
Is Mirazda with us?
No, he's not. He went. He left you to find. Go back to the Black Company and tell them what had happened.
All right. Jude, as he's approaching, you can see he has maybe a large burlap bag that clearly the bottom of it is wet with blood or gore of some kind. He approaches with a smile, but then seeing her kind of expression changes, and as she tells him, he goes, "Oh, I see you've met our friend Takarian. That pale elf gives me the creeps. Not quite sure what his deal is, or what he's doing in this town."
Why was his mouth covered in blood? I don't think it was a nosebleed.
I was suspicious of him, but Morazzo and I dealt with so many odd things over the course of the last day or so, I figured making one less enemy was a good idea and would turn in the bounty on this manticore. And he kind of lifts the sack as evidence. And maybe,
Manticore? And she kind of reaches to look, like she wants to look in the bag.
He opens the bag, kind of shows what is in there, and it's simply a manticore head. It seems without many witchers about, they're turning to anyone they can to solve their monster problem, and solve it I did.
Elzebells, you couldn't wait for me.
Considering what the weird feeling I'm getting in this area, I felt it best for you to stay with the Black Company and make sure they didn't run off and do something stupid.
She kind of examines his expression to see if there's any hint that he was trying to be protective of her, but she takes him at his word and she nods. Your fellas are brave lads, but they can be a bit, their decision-making skills bear some improvement.
That's why they need a good, strong leader like me, but I will say I might be needing him here shortly. When we were on the way back, we had found this weird, I don't even know if I would call it a relic, and he kind of pulls it out, showing her. And Tet, remind me, it was like almost like a metallic, like an egg almost in...
It's like a metallic rod.
He kind of sets the burlap sack down and showing this metallic rod. We found this in the abandoned castle, or the ruins where the manticore was. And clearly there's some sort of value to it, as we were attacked by cultists on the way back into town. We slaughtered them with these, but kept one alive and unmasked him, and it turned out to be one of these townsfolk. But he seemed to come out of some sort of trance or spell and swore he didn't have anything to do with the attack or knew about it, implying that maybe he was under some sort of curse or mind control. That's the next step on this journey, is discovering who wants this and what they were willing to do with these townspeople to get it.
She thinks about what you're saying and nods at the end. Well, he could be telling the truth, I suppose. There's stranger things we've seen.
I've seen a great many strange things in my time, but I'm not quite sure what to make of this town. First thing I plan to do, though, is go meet with the local Sheriff Ruger and collect my bounty.
Right. Money first. Then we need to find someone who knows a bit more about magical things, if we want to figure out what that thing does.
Don't suppose you know anybody?
Well, I do, but she ain't from around here. She's not, is she? The elf from the tower. Let me see what's her name.
Askia or whatever.
Um,
Is that her name? The goofy, crazy.
Yeah, the goofy
Yeah,
one.
yeah. No, she's not. She's not close to here.
We'd have to travel quite a way. Hopefully we'll perhaps find someone more in the vicinity. But before we leave, let's have a poke around. She points to the building that the white elf came out of. She says, I want to see what's in there. I want to see what he was eating.
Fair enough. Let's go check it out. What's a few more minutes?
Okay. You head into that room. Let me swing you over here. It is hold on. You head into this room. It's a small room. There's a door to the back. Actually, it's not all that small. I guess it's you go into it, and then there's the room is there. It's more like a living area, and you see this strange drawing on the floor, and the rest of the room is kind of an upheaval, like everything's kind of thrown about. Chairs are overturned. Dishes are knocked over and broken. You see very clearly across the way the trap door is open to something below. You see no one in here, though.
Dev steps in cautiously, kind of feeling the area as if she could, in case there's some magical trap. She looks for any signs of, that there was some sort of ritual performed here, any blood or anything in the circle.
Yeah, you don't see anything like that.
Jute
She just raises an eyebrow at you.
Jute, as she's moving about, kind of walks around as well, maybe taking a knee near the circle and taking maybe his index finger across some of the markings and smelling it, looking at it, kind of sighs. Fuck. And then he kind of looks at Dev and looks at the open trap door. And I don't suppose you want to go down first?
And she, her mouth kind of spreads into a wide grin, and she kind of raps on his armor a couple times, making a very quiet clang. That's why we spend so much money on this fancy getup.
Indeed. I was going to be a gentleman and say ladies first, but I suppose I'll go down there. And with that, he
Appreciate the sentiment.
pulls out, his silver sword.
Yeah, she pulls out a couple of throwing knives, hooking two of them between her fingers of her left hand.
Is there a torch or any sort of torch that can be lit before going down there in the room?
There are no torches here.
He peers down the trap door. Is it pretty dark down there?
It is pretty dark, yep.
Said there was a bunch of kind of broken stuff around. He maybe looks for a broken leg of a chair or
Do we have a torch?
Something that he could
I would say you probably do have a torch, yeah.
Dev will reach into her pack and she'll pull out a kind of small torch and hold it out. She'll then start fumbling around for some flint and steel.
Jute, seeing a one-armed woman trying to start a torch is quite hilarious, but eventually, sets the sword down.
She has to step on the flint with her foot. And
here, allow me. And he kind of starts it after a few and kind of gives her a look like just laughing at the inconvenience before picking up his sword with his main hand and kind of peering down, holding the torch to the trap door, seeing if it shows anything or how far down it goes.
No, it doesn't go down too far. It's 4 or 5 feet below.
With that, he's assuming it's probably just some sort of cellar like in most village homes, and kind of begins to walk down, listening over the crackle of the torch to see if there's any movement down there or any sort of smell like that of blood or dead bodies.
You don't smell anything. You could give me a perception check if you would like.
Both of us, or just him?
Yeah, you both can. You both can. You are going for a 29. Nope, you don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything. He kind of slowly starts walking down, moving the torch back and forth once it gets below floor level.
Yeah, you climb down the ladder. You do see kind of at the edge of your torchlight Rugor, and then a man kind of lying on the floor. Bo, you have been here for a while. You're not sure how long. You've just kind of awoken a few moments ago. The last thing you remember is passing this town on your way north and having a bite to eat actually in the inn in this town, and feeling quite odd, and then suddenly blacking out and feeling nauseous. You wake up with a very upset stomach. You notice your gear is nearby, next to you actually, your sword belt with both your swords on it. And you notice that next to you is a man standing there, and he is sitting on a chair with his hands in his head in his hands. It's hard to see, but it looks like he's like mumbling and sweating profusely. And you can go ahead and...
So the first thing that Kraith does is his eyes flutter open and he takes a deep breath in. Oh, my head. I feel like I got a swift boot right to the back of the neck. And he retches a little bit. And, seeing the man there so close, he stifles it, and just like a little trickle of vomitus spills from his a corner of his mouth onto the floor, and he kind of gingerly scoots himself away so as not to soil himself. The light, the room is mostly dark, flickering with bright orange candlelight, and he kind of looks towards this barrel, and he sees his sword belt, and in there his falchion sword breaker. Looking over to where the man is muttering, he kind of probably thinks to himself, okay, seems a bit distracted. Maybe he had to eat what I had to eat. Bastard looks quite ill. He kind of inchworms. Is he bound?
No,
Or not
he's
really?
not.
Yeah, he just cautiously, ever so gingerly crawls across the floor towards his weapon belt.
Yeah, Jute and Devnet, you see this man kind of crawling towards a sword belt, and this other Rugor, who Jute recognizes, sitting in a chair with his hands in his head in his hands, mumbling.
Jute kind of leans in towards Devnet with his sword, points towards Rugor. That's the sheriff.
And she gestures toward Kraith with a thumb. What's that? You don't look well.
No, let's make sure he doesn't arm himself before we know who he is. Then Jute, maybe I don't know if there's a sconce or anything that he can set the torch down without it going out. And then maybe draws his second sword as he approaches Rugor.
Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
move. I don't know what Kraith does, but Rugor doesn't move.
Prace
Boy.
would, as stealthily as possible, trying to, grab his stuff and
Yeah, go
Probably
ahead and give
pulls
me
out
a
his
stealth.
falchion.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
right. Physical way.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Stealthy.
Damn. Ignore him. He's dead, clearly.
Yeah, you don't see him get to his belt. You kind of are distracted by Rugor as he just kind of like mumbling nonsense.
Jute kind of maybe lightly taps him on the shoulder with the flat of his blade. Hey, Rugor, I'm back.
He looks up and his eyes are, his pupils of his eyes are all black as he looks up at you. He doesn't say anything though.
Oi, what are you doing sitting around in the dark?
Look at his eyes, Dev. That ain't right.
She leans in close and notices her fingers grip the daggers, her muscles tensing just in case.
Is he making anything other than just kind of his mumbling?
Yeah, he's just mumbling at this point.
I think Dev looks for the other guy then. We better check on that other one, see if he's like that.
You check. I'll keep an eye on this sheriff here.
So she starts to approach Kraith. Not threateningly, but cautiously. Hey, you! On the floor.
He kind of looks up, kind of mid-strapping on his belt. And what does quick draw do?
Allows you to draw without taking an action to do so.
Yeah, it's almost like with a flash. It's like his falchions, you notice, is already in his hand and hanging down to his right side. And he has a kind of a scared look in his eye, and you can see like there's dried shit going down his face. And he looks to you, then over to Rugor, and looks back to you. I don't know who you are. I don't know who the fuck this sweaty bastard is. But I came here, not of my own free will, and I plan to leave one way or another.
And
Do the three of you want me?
she leans forward, squinting.
Let's
You get a
close
look
her
at his eyes.
Yeah, they don't look like Rugors.
Well, whatever's got a hold of him, and she kind of gestures with her. And you notice that she gestures with her left hand, and she's holding two knives in it toward Rugor. Whatever's got a hold of him don't appear to have a hold of you. Did you see a white elf not long ago? I saw him leave the building.
I didn't see much at all, lass. Last thing I remember, I was heading through the village. Slot of ale, slot of bread, a bit of fish. It must have been bad fish. And that's all she wrote. Things went black and I woke up here.
Well, why don't you let me have a look at you? See if, make sure there's no open wounds. Nothing you're not noticing in your current state.
He kind of takes a step closer just so she can see him and in the flickering light and kind of makes eye contact with her. His weapon is in his hand, but his hands are kind of up in a non-threatening manner.
She gets close, and she's looking all over him, looking for wounds. Like, where did that blood come from on that white elf?
Yeah, you don't see any blood on him at all. You see like vomit and such, but
I'm not chewed up.
She wrinkles her nose a little at the smell and says, well, you basically look all right. You might want to get a drink of water. And she looks over at Ruger and Jute and says, can you check him? See if there's anything besides the eyes that she can see about him. And then she'll pull out a water skin for Kraith.
He sheathes his offhand sword, kind of getting a little bit closer, looking for anything out of the ordinary, and eventually, since he's being non-threatening, he's kind of sitting there. He kind of maybe lightly slaps the side of his cheek. Ruger, snap out of it. What the hell's wrong with you?
I dealt too deep, read too much.
That was helpful. Does anybody know anything about conditions like this? Suppose our pale elf friend might?
Kraith kind of pours the water over his face and then thanks Dev and kind of takes a few steps towards Ruger and looks over him. I do like arcane or something to see.
You could roll arcane if you want.
As
There's lore monster lore, but you don't have that.
As Kraith kind of goes over, almost kind of offhandedly, Jude's like, oh, by the way, it almost certainly wasn't bad food we ate here earlier, and once you get above the cellar here, you'll see what I mean about what might be going on here. And it isn't bad fish.
I wonder if it would help if we got him out of this dark cellar, out of this house.
Couldn't hurt.
He stands up and suddenly he just leans back and then vomits as well, but this is like a spray of blood hits the ground and onto your shoes, Jute. Just blah! It's like uncontrollable blood vomit.
Jude takes a step back. He is not any sort of medic or surgeon or healer, and he has no idea what's going on, but he wants no part of it.
Oh, hell. Where are we going to get the bounty?
He's about to collapse at some point. I'm sure he's got his coin purse in there somewhere.
Yeah, he continues to just blah, blah, and eventually does collapse in this massive pool of blood. Massive.
I think you're right. This is something more than a spot of rotted fish. Bounty? What do you mean about bounty? What the hell have I found myself in the middle of?
It's a long story. But excuse me one moment, and I'll be more than happy to tell it to you. He kind of walks through the blood and fishes for any sort of coin on him, dead set on getting paid for putting his life and Marazo's life in danger, taking on the Manticore.
Yeah, roll perception. That's pretty good. That's not.
Ew, there's blood on my shoes. I can't focus.
You pick the. He does have a purse on his belt, and you do pull it off with no problem. And it feels pretty light from what you can tell. But Devnet, you see as Jute's standing there, kind of fishing the belt, the belt pouch off, that the body is moving like in odd ways, like suddenly there's like shoulder, it looks like it dislocates and grows, and it looks very peculiar to you.
Yeah, she says, back up, Jute. Get that purse, and she pulls out her knives again. There's something else. I don't think he's quite done with this world yet, but I don't think what's happening is going to be natural either.
Jude kind of turns his head back to Dev, like, what?
Look at him! And he, gestures toward like an arm that's like almost dislocated, pulled behind him, shaking.
As he's pulling the belt off, he turns back to see the deformities grow, and he kind of jumps back. What the fuck? And pulls out, quickly pockets the coin purse, pulling out his other sword. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, as it changes quite rapidly, its face just kind of, or his face, kind of, the mouth opens like huge and becomes this huge maw that was like the size of the entire face. Like, you don't know where the eyes and the nose and everything goes, but it's kind of like overlapped by skin of the forehead of this thing. And it has terrifying form. So the first thing I would like you to do is you're going to make a rank 3 fear hazard. I need everybody to make courage checks. I will roll its thing here. So 5d10. Keep 3. Alright, you got to beat a 22.
And this isn't magic.
No, this is fear.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so people are going to take some damage. Jute, what is your terror level? Start with you.
It's terror level 16.
16. So you would take, okay, you rolled, so that's 4 plus 5, you take 9. So you're going to take an injury, basically, a fear level. You take an injury.
So you're going to do the injury.
Yeah,
then?
I can do it. And then, Dev, what is yours?
14.
14, and then you rolled a 7, minus that, it's 15, so you're also going to take a fear. And Bo, what is yours? I don't think you're
Terror level is 15.
Yeah, you don't suffer anything. So you're fine. As this thing kind of like rises, and you have a moment of hesitation as it does so, Jute and Dev. And go ahead and let's see, make sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. This thing has dither. Whoa. There's nothing on there. That's weird. Okay. It's gonna roll initiative, and it has dither, so it takes a hardship. Alright. It is Kraith's turn first.
Okay. Let's see what the range is on this magic blast thing.
Touch.
It's a touch.
But you can, the way magic works is you can augment it, right? You augment it in 2 hexes, right? So if you wanted to hit him from there, where's that? Like the fucking
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 4 would be fine. That would be 2. You would augment it by 2 to do so. So that would be 3 spell level. It would be a level 3 spell.
So let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Magic menu. Energy attack. Uh-oh, broken.
Okay. Just roll. Just roll harness.
Just click on target. Benefit 0. Pullback 0. Additional mods.
None.
None. Hardship.
None.
Targeted.
It would. Yes, it's targeted.
Spell dice.
3.
2.
3. It's a level 3 spell.
Spell. 10. That's probably not good enough.
No, that's hit. That's a hit. It's all worked in.
Yep. Okay.
So that's definitely a hit. -6. What is the -6? Oh, I think that's its magic defense. So it hit it for 10 damage. I don't think it. Let me see if it has other. I don't think so.
Let's see.
Other.
Energy
It does
bonus.
have. It does have other. So your damage is 10 plus 5. So 15 minus 8. So that's 7. It takes 7 damage. Let's see if that's below its injury level. It is. So how does it look as you hit it with this energy blast, but it doesn't penetrate its thick hide?
So Kraith kind of flourishes his falchion and then like pushes forward with the right hand, and this blue spark of energy just flashes across the room, and maybe it just kind of rears up. It just looks like maybe it was going to do something, and it just comes down with a crash. Its right foot splintering the stone beneath it. Ugh. That was unexpected. Would be 3 APs.
Yeah, I marked it.
Got it.
Dev, you're up.
Deb is gonna let fly with the dagger since she's got it in her hand.
How far are you?
I think
You're technically 3, we'll say. So
that's close range for me.
is it okay? Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. What's the -9? Oh, that's just the close range thing. I think. Oh yeah, base defense. Okay, all right, fine. So that's a hit. 10 plus 2. That's 12 damage. That is enough to give it an injury. Oh no, it's not, because I gotta subtract the armor, which is 8. So that's not enough to hurt it. It just sticks in it. Doesn't do anything. It roars. Jute.
We're going to
You
try
do have
tangle it.
piercing though, so hold on. So piercing is what's your agility score?
I think it's 5. Oh, let me look.
I just want to make sure.
It's 5.
It's 5, so it's half of that. So 10, 12 minus 6. So 6. It's not enough to hurt it. Okay, good, Jute.
I am going to attempt The Tangle ability that he has. You'll have to help me through this because I've only done it once before.
Yep. So it's a power. So you're gonna roll essence. And then that one is dodge. So okay, go ahead and roll that. Hold on, before you do though, it would be under magic.
Yep, I found it. Essence.
But you are essence. Okay, entangled, 12 points. 2 hex. You need to be 2 hexes away. Are you? Yep. Okay, go ahead. You're in range because it's a power for you. Yeah, just roll essence. It's fine. 16, and it needs to make a dodge roll. Okay, so that's 3 for you. And 1 for it. And then it'll make a dodge roll. $26. Yeah, it just... You kind of shoot... It just has it look as it just kind of evades these brambles and stuff that break through the ground.
You can see Jute maybe holding up a hand and moving it in a... almost like raising it, and these brambles and vines start working its way out of the dirt in the ground and wrapping itself around the legs, but the size and bulk of it kind of easily kicks them off and stomps them off, ignoring it.
Okay. It is going to lunge at you. So it moves there, which is adjacent, I would say. And it's going to attack with a -3. It does this. No benefits. -3.
So I'm going to parry. I think I get 1 benefit because it adds 1 because I'm a duelist.
Well, does it have defensive on it already?
Let me double check that. Might be just the other sword. Hold on.
No, it has defense.
No, it's defensive 1.
Yeah, so you get defensive 2, so you get 2 benefits.
I get to re-roll those 2 ones too.
Okay, roll 'em. You gotta beat a 5. Oh god. So it hits. 3. No, hit by 1, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it's 1 plus 12, 13 damage.
I'll check my armor.
It has piercing as well, so. But its agility is probably not very good. That's 4.
Where'd it hit me? In the
Torso, looks like.
torso for piercing is 11.
So, what did I say? 13 minus.
What did you say its piercing was?
2. Well, it'd take 2 off your armor.
So 9.
Yeah. So
that's not even enough
14.
for an injury.
Yeah, so it just smashes against your armor, but you just sparks as its claw cuts across. Kraith, you're up.
Let's see, Kraith. I think what I want to do is I want to cast Magic Shield at level 2 using what's the one that fast cast, the one that casts quickly?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast it at level 2 using cast quickly.
Okay, what are you augmenting though? For
It's just magic. It's a magic shield, isn't it?
yeah, but
Just,
okay. So the way magic
your
works
spell.
is you can anything you can. There's different. If you do a level 2, so which are you increasing your aspects, your duration, your range, your targets? It's you kind of it's whatever you want to do.
I thought magical seal is just to increase your.
Yeah, but it's for a certain amount of
damage.
time, right? So it's normally it's 5 AR for all aspects for 3 AP. So
Right, so level 2 would be 6 AP.
okay, if that's the one you want to boost, you boost them individually, right? So you could say I want a level 3 and I want 10 AR and 6 AP. It just depends what you want to raise.
Okay.
So if you want 10 or 5 AR for 6 AP, that's fine. It is a level 2 in that case.
I need 10 AR though.
Well, then that would be a level 3.
Yeah, that would be tough to do.
It is. All spells are challenging baseline, so that's 21.
Okay, let me just do.
You have your harness is very good, though.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it live.
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll do cast quickly, level 3. There you go.
Oh, cast quickly gives you another hardship too, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I just want to be able to do that, then charge.
Okay.
Because if he hits me, I'd be smoked if I don't have that on.
Yeah.
All right, so magic menu, harness. Yeah. Benefit, none. Go back, none. Additional mods. Hardship,
1.
1.
And then 4 spell levels. Okay, it was cast successfully. So you have...
Get 10 AR?
Yep, you got 10 for 6 AP, and that was 2, so it starts now. So you'll have it for 6 until 11.
Well, until 11. Got it.
All right, Dev.
Dev is going to draw her sword, so she's going to interact quickly.
Okay.
She needs to make an acrobatics skill check.
Yep, need to beat a 21.
Needs to be-
Yep. So that's 1 AP to draw it.
Yep.
Jute, you're up.
So Jute is going to do a 2-weapon attack as he kind of beats off the attacker as it claws towards his chest. He swings both his swords, looking to drive both of them. I knew that. Right into the beast. So... I'll do the main hand first. This is with 1 hardship, because I have ambidextrous.
Oh my god, terrible
Yeah.
hardship roll. It's going to try to dodge. That's a hit for 4 damage. It does.
It
You
has
do have
Bane Monster and Breach 1.
Okay, so let me figure out what Bane Monster does. Oh, come on. PDF. Being so slow. Alright, Bane Monster. When dealing a wound with this effect, associated death rolls and false rolls take 1 hardship. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind if it happens. So Breach 1. Breach, what's that one do? That one is the Yeah.
I think it
Reduced
reduces its armor by 2.
Uh-huh. On all aspects. Okay. So its armor is 8, so that's 6.
It won't even get through.
Yeah, I don't think so. So 4 minus 6. Yeah, that one didn't get through. It just hits this very thick hide. It doesn't break through.
He just kind of swings, and it's a glancing blow and not anything to...
It did dodge, so that
Can't,
puts it
yeah.
at 6.
And now we will hit it with my other sword.
It's better. It's gonna dodge again.
I'm gonna roll the 2d1s. We'll see how. Anyway, you roll dodge, and I'll roll
that's
that.
fine. 19.
Got him. Got him.
Garbage again.
Doesn't increase it at all.
Nope.
Okay. So 37 minus 19. That's whoops. All right, 18, and then minus 6, so that's 14.
Nope, there's no breach on this one.
Oh, there's no breach
so it's
on.
minus 8,
Okay, so 10.
and then plus 4 for damage.
Okay, so that's gonna give it an injury. So as it look as you finally hurt the thing, it like hisses.
As the creature kind of dodges to one side, avoiding his meteorite sword, it opens himself up for a swing from his offhand, slicing across what you would describe as the monster's chest. Blood or gore coming out, but not enough to fell the beast or seriously injure it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Dev.
She's gonna charge in.
Move 2.
Yep.
That's 6. And it is Kraith's turn now.
Okay. So he wants to use the charge offensive action now.
Okay.
AP 5.
Mm-hmm.
Here, on his rear flanker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you can move.
And make an immediate attack. It's a 5 AP type of thing.
Yep.
Does he get a bonus for being the creature being flanked or?
On defense, he will get a negative.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do that and then make an immediate attack. It says, and I double my damage. Now, can you do a 2-weapon attack?
No.
Wait, how does he move and attack in the same round?
It's charge. The action charge.
Oh, okay.
I've been saving up my wad for this one.
Yep. So you make your attack as normal with 1 hardship.
Okay. Is that because of the charge?
Yes. Charges are done at 1 hardship.
All right. Let's just do combat menu. Falchion.
Okay. Nice.
So it's going to make a defensive roll at a -6 because of...
I do double damage too.
Yep. Let's before you do that, let's do this. Dodge. -6 to this, whatever it is. Okay. So 16. 50 minus 16 is 34. So 34 plus 8, 42. That's what you hit it for damage-wise. 42, and then minus its... Where did you hit it? Okay, minus 8, 42 minus 8. That's
34.
Yep, 34. And so 34 is definitely enough to give it a wound. So let me do that. Give it a wound real quick. So it took a wound. It's going to make a falter roll. See if it keeps its feet. Where's the thing? There we go.
Paladin dex roll.
Yeah, basically.
No.
I guess I don't have that worked in. Okay, that's fine.
Fall down, bastard.
Yeah. So this is going to be... hold on, sorry. Is it on the... I'm going to see if the falter... I thought I put it in the... Yeah, right there it is. Yes. So... Did not knock it down. So it keeps its feet. It does take a wound, though. So yeah, how does that look as you just fly in there and cut it deep?
Before that happened, like it's
mortal
it almost
too.
Seems like
It's mortal too,
Yeah.
so it takes an
Yeah.
injury as well. So go ahead.
nice. Yeah, like it's almost like the air shimmers around Kraith as he pops up that shield, and then he has both of his weapons on. He's like, "I might regret this soon." He charges in at its flank, and as it's kind of busy with Jute, Kraith just takes his falchion and slams it into the creature's side, and black ichor spouts up, and it almost staggers and slips around in the blood, but somehow keeps its feet. Ugh! The bastard's still not down!
And Dev.
Seeing the creature get struck so hard, she grins fiercely at Kraith, gives him a quick nod of approving respect, and then she swings the sword back, putting in momentum for a reckless attack.
3 benefits. This is the time for the reckless attack. 37. It'll dodge. Let me add 1 to it so I don't forget. I always forget the dodges.
This is meteorite, the same as Jute's.
Alright, let me see a dodge here. Dodge -6. -6. 7. 30 plus 4, 34, minus 8, 26.
It's got the breach.
Yeah, so plus 2, 38. And then Bane. So 38 damage. That's going to be a wound, so that gives it more than its normal. So it's going to make a death roll. And then it's going to make a death roll with a hardship because of the Bane. So
It's 28, not that I care.
28. It doesn't matter anyway. Okay. All right. Let's see. Death roll. Death roll. Death roll. Death roll. Whoops. That was weird.
Oh my god.
Snipey.
Yeah, that didn't.
Bullshit.
If I could roll a hardship too, but it doesn't matter.
That's Sticky Joe level.
Yeah. So you don't have mortal, right, on that blade, or does it?
No, I don't.
All right. Yeah, you cut it deeply, and it like roars out, but doesn't fall. But it does take a. It takes injury, right? Let me see something.
Is it an injury or a wound?
It's capped out at wounds, so I think it takes an injury instead.
Every time it takes a wound from now on, it'll make a death roll.
Yep. Oh yes, for sure. It's still okay. It needs to make a falter roll too. Even though, so now to make a falter roll. And this will be bad because
Yeah, hopefully it'll fall this time.
yeah, it takes a hardship to this as well.
That's a fantastic death roll. Oh my gosh. Looking at his numbers.
What was your damage that you did total? Do we remember? 28 or something like
28.
that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it stays up. Adds that 21 on there. It's pretty brutal.
One explode.
All right, Jute.
Excuse me.
It's teetering.
It's three benefits for a reckless attack. You
Yes,
said.
yes.
it's going to get the hit after this time.
So yeah, well, I'm gonna do one aim, and then we'll go to the.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, you're gonna be at
So
13 then.
how's the conversion work again?
What? How many? What are you roll? What is the?
So I'll have 4 benefits.
Okay.
So that'll take my dice pool to 14. Keep 6.
Okay, so 14 keeps 6, so it'd be, let's see, you need to lower 1, so it'd be 12 keep 7.
Alright.
You might want to just do that manually.
Let me see if I did this right. We'll find out.
Oh, you're rolling d6 though. Roll
Oh,
d10.
I'm an idiot.
This is in the Song of Ice and Fire. Get out of here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's better.
Yes.
Better.
50.
let's
You need to re-roll
re-roll
the. You need to re-roll the
The
10.
10 and the 1.
Yeah, because you didn't put the double exclamations. So roll the 10. Okay, so you're at 58, and then you can roll the 1. See if you get above a 5. You did. So you're at
finally.
61. So
61 plus 2 because of my 1 skill. So that's 63. And then minus 3 for my injury. So
that's
what,
oh
59?
yeah, okay. So what are you at? 59?
59, then plus 4. I suppose I should roll 1d10.
Well,
I'll just roll the
minus
combat menu.
minus 4. We'll just say minus 4 because. So we're at 55. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. It hasn't
tries to
dodged.
dodge,
It's
we'll
gonna
get it.
dodge.
Yeah, we'll get to go again.
-6. 9. So we're at 46. Okay, 46. He's got to make a death roll.
And it has Bane 1 on
Yep.
it.
There we go. He'll get a death roll. He's pretty good at death rolls, though. Okay, I need to roll. Okay, so that kills it then. How does it look?
Yes.
As the 2 were hacking on it.
Oh wait,
and-
were we at 46? We were at 46. Right?
Were we?
I thought it was
Yeah.
59. What happened after that?
That's fine. It's already hurt enough. We'll just say you killed it. It was close enough anyway. Whatever.
Because we were all going to get to go again because
Yeah.
it died.
Yeah, as the 2 are whacking on it, Jute kind of lines up and bends down to kind of snap at one of them. He brings the sword down, hitting the back of its skull, or what used to be a human skull, near the neck, and severing any sort of neurological connection to the rest of the body. It just kind of falls dead, limp. Kind of does a little figure 8 pattern with his sword, looking to the 2 of them. You're welcome.
Kraith kind of jumps back a little bit as blood splatters all over his face, and he watches the monster collapse onto the floor. Oh! Did you used to know that man? That thing?
He was called Ruger. He was the town sheriff here in Aliceburg. But I guess he ain't no more. Almost kind of disgustingly, he begins severing the head of the monster. 2 monsters in 2 days. That should be worth something somewhere.
Would Kraith be able to tell that he's... Are you guys both Witchers?
Neither of us
No,
are.
neither of us
Neither-
are. But
neither-
but it would be confusing because we're carrying Witcher blades.
I know, and you're cutting heads off shit, so I'm like...
Yeah, Jute, you might think you probably you could do a lore to see if you know if women
Yeah,
can be
you would
witchers
know.
or not.
Let me just do it for fun. Mental, probably.
If you fail,
Yep.
you can ask.
Yeah.
You do not know.
Yeah.
But so they could be
What,
witchers.
what are the chances? Go unresponsive while having a meal in a strange town. Wake up with a man sweating bullets. And then I come across 2 bloody witches. It goes without saying I thank you for your aid. But I'm not going to pay you. I gave as much as I got.
Dev wrinkles her nose, looking a little offended. I'm no witcher. She kind of holds up the blade, notes the blood, and pulls out a cloth, starts cleaning it carefully. I can see why you made the mistake. I mean, this is a witcher's blade. Had to
Aye.
kill him to take it, but it's been right useful.
Offense was meant, my lady. And he kind of feels down with his left hand. Does he still have his coin purse on his belt?
Yeah. Nothing was taken. You have everything. Nothing was stolen from you.
He's like he looks very. He's like kind of has a quizzical look on his face. And I wasn't even robbed. Now this becomes more confusing by the minute. Hopefully we can go upstairs and get some fresh air. Perhaps you can enlighten me.
Bo, did you say we could see the kind of magical shield form around you?
Yeah, we'd probably have like a couple APs left and then just probably dissipate.
As they're talking, he says, "Do you see any medallion on here? Do I look like a fucking witcher? But I'll tell you what, you look like a fucking mage."
Ah, you've got me dead to rights. Not much of a mage, but I know a spell or two. Enough to line my pockets with enough coin to have a good time. From town to town, coast to coast, county to county. My name's Craith Everdale. What might your names be?
I am Jute Black, leader of the Black Company. This is
I'm
my...
Devnet One Arm. You might have heard of me.
Do you have one arm?
It's covered with a little capelet.
Okay. he wouldn't be able to tell you have one arm. Well met, both of you. Well, I suppose I should count myself lucky. The one down here recovering from my illness, and this thing turned, well, I think I might have been its next meal.
Fortunately for you, you ran into one of the best swordsmen the Northern Realms have to offer. He kind of does a little mock bow.
I thank you, Jute.
To be fair, Jute, Devnet here did distract this beast, and I did my part as well.
It was a good battle, all in all. Bit brief, but
Yeah,
satisfying
not a-
nonetheless.
Not a scratch.
Oh, I think one of us got scratched.
Jute kind of absentmindedly rubs on the scratches across his chest on his scale armor. Huh. I let him do that to make him think he was going to strike me down and lure him into the trap.
That's all right.
The
Better
both of
likes
you,
a man with scars.
the both of you looked shocked when he turned to you with that dead gaze in his eyes. You didn't expect that your friend was ill.
No friend of mine. Why don't we get out of here and I'll explain all of this. Tell me, well, let's go upstairs. You tell me what you make of this symbol on the ground.
Craith would follow them upstairs and look at the symbol if he's able.
You definitely can.
I would look at it, and I guess I could roll something to see if I know.
Yeah, you can roll Arcana.
That's not going to be good, but I'll be roll with. He's a dumb mage. He's better with the sword.
Instinctive mage.
Yes. Is that intelligence?
It
There you
is,
go.
yeah.
Arcana. Why does it make me choose a target?
Because you can cast spells with it.
I just don't...
Yeah, just say
pick-
no. Or just target somebody. When it says targeted, just say no.
Pick myself. 0 spell effects.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Rolled a 10. I still failed.
Yeah, you're not trained.
Yeah. Like I said, I know a spell or two. 1 spell, 2 spells. I'm certainly no lore master. This is... might as well be hen scratch to me. I apologize.
My suspicion is that your white elf friend, Jute, that he had somewhat to do with it.
You hear the
That's a
door
good guess.
open, and it's very fortuitous or whatever you want to say, but standing behind, entering is him, who you've been talking about. He leans on a staff.
Targaryen, what are you doing in Aliceburg?
It was the first place that I had encountered upon my road.
Is this your doing? And she kind of gestures to the arcane symbols on the floor.
Oh, yes. I scribed that a few hours ago.
For what purpose?
It is a seal of protection, so what was in the basement could not leave.
Oh, well, you won't be needing that anymore.
What was in the basement?
It is nothing I have ever seen before. I simply knew that it was something from the beyond. Something that has come here through the conjunction of spheres.
Hey, I think you're forgetting about one thing. There was the what is in the basement, but there was also the who was in the basement. I was in the fucking basement, unconscious with that thing.
I did not know this. It makes no difference regardless. You are alive now.
Barely. The thing was about to snack on my femur. Thank you very much.
So tell me, Targaryen, what is going on with this town? Do you know?
I do not know exactly, but there is something that is bothering this place. A curse, or perhaps someone called these things down upon this place. Wished it for themselves.
It's possible. I killed about 12 of the townsfolk. They attacked me mindlessly. It seemed they were under some sort of control or spell. When one of them came out of it, they swore they knew nothing of what they did or why they did it. They seemed to be after something.
What would they be after?
He looks at Dev and see her opinion if he should share what he found.
She glances suspiciously over at the elf, but then back at Jute and shrugs and says, "Don't know who else we're gonna ask."
Well, I think they were after this. And he kind of pulls out the metallic rod and doesn't hand it to him, but holds it out so he can see it.
He doesn't walk forward. He does this kind of strange thing where he bends at the waist and to look at it closer. He reaches out with these kind of overly long fingers, very thin, and ends are his nails are long and sharp. May I see this? Closer.
You can step closer, yes.
May I?
But I'll be holding on to
I
it.
see. Very well. It is hard for me to look at such a thing while you hold it, but he shuffles forward a bit and he turns his head, cranes it around, and looks at it very carefully. Yes, I have not seen one of these in many a eon.
And what exactly is this?
It is a interesting artifact from the days of my youth. I came through a portal here, and supposedly it looks like this thing has as well. It will create... How to explain it? It will create a gateway from here to somewhere else if used. It is what we would call Elmanti, a world jumper.
Wait, you're saying this takes you to another world?
Yes, precisely.
She looks very skeptical. And how would you use such a thing?
Someone with the power of what you call the source only needs to wield it, and it will activate immediately. You think it, and perhaps if you can control it, you can go where you wish.
Wait, so there's more than one?
I have heard there are 7, but I do not... 7 items?
No,
Atlantes?
I meant worlds.
Oh dear, there are much more than 7. Many, many more. An infinite number.
Well, that's interesting. And she gives Jute this we're dealing with a nut job kind of a look that he's seen before.
Let your friend here hold it if you would not let me hold it, and you will see.
He kind of walks over to Kraith. I don't know. What do you say? Would you like to hold it?
I think like to hold it would be putting it strongly. I would reluctantly hold it. I enjoy this world quite enough. I dare say I don't want to jump to a second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, or sixth one. But I'll report back what I feel. He holds out his palm.
Jute hands it over to him. Now, don't disappear or explode, I guess. He kind of takes a few steps back.
What is Cray thinking about as he takes the rod?
He is not a very good mage. He's more of a warrior than a mage. I imagine his past, he's run across the very intellectual types and typically flunks out, maybe gets in fights, wins most of the fights. So now he's getting a chance to perhaps get his hands on some power that's a little bit unearned. So he a little bit greedily takes it.
Give me a focus roll.
Yeah, Christ.
You should be pretty
Let's
good.
see here. Where is that? Is that magic menu?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Focus. 32.
It is good enough. Yeah, you feel the thing shake in your hand, and you see a circle right in the middle of this pentagram thing, and you see on the other side of this ancient looking building with huge spirals going up into the heavens almost. It's vaguely familiar to you, perhaps a dream you had when you felt when you were able to first cast magic, something that you used to dream about, and then as you kind of hold it, you can either close the gate or keep it open if you want.
Kraith holds the rod and feels the vibration and the power course through his hand and his arm, and catches his breath a little bit. Your friend, he speaks the truth. The source courses through this thing. I can contain it, but barely. Do you see the portal? The portal here before you? Spires reaching into the clouds. Something vaguely familiar from when I was but a boy. And,
Yeah, you guys don't see anything.
Jute kind of looks around, whispers, maybe it was the fish. I don't see anything. What are you talking about?
Perhaps it's a device that causes madness.
Yeah. He kind of finds the willpower in himself to say, I can perhaps use my mind to shut this gate or keep it open. I need to know more.
Devnet comes closer and she says, so where's this gate? She starts waving her hands around.
I know not where it leads.
I mean, am I standing in it? Where is it?
No, it's in the center there. Mind your step, lest you be lost into this multiverse of sorts.
After a moment's thought, close it. Let's deal with one thing at a time. We can try this gate later.
Yes, beads of sweat pop out on Kraith's head, and the gate kind of winks itself shut. This relic is powerful, Jute.
Well, we'll investigate how powerful it is when we're done here.
For now, I give it to your safekeeping. I do not trust myself not to go sleepwalking into the night into another realm. That would be most unfortunate.
Indeed. I thank you for giving that back, and we'll see if we can put this to good use later. Kind of turns into Carrion. So, what will you be doing in this town? Are you leaving? Or is the rest of the town under this curse?
I do not see any other people in this town. I have walked around it for at least an hour. I did not see anyone else here.
I
If
wonder if most of them were killed in the attack.
perhaps, or they left, or they turned into monsters like your friend down below.
One of those things was quite enough. I shudder to think what an entire town of them would do to innocent people.
Aliceburg's in Temeria, correct?
Oh boy, I don't remember. I think it is.
I feel like it was.
Yeah. Hold on. I think it's. Let me look at the map real quick. I believe it is. It is in Temeria. It is right next to. Tell me if you can see this screen. I don't know if it's got it.
I can see it so far.
I think it's over in here somewhere. It is northern Temeria, yeah.
So, in the La Valette
Yeah, I
area.
believe so, yeah.
Well, Jute kind of folds his arms for a few moments in thought, and being the very straightforward thinker that he is, well, there's probably only one thing to do with a cursed town like this. Loot it and burn it to the ground.
Sounds about right. There ain't no one to pay us for killing the monsters.
Crazy.
Count me in.
I don't suppose you're looking for a bit of employment, are you? The Black Company is always looking for talented swordsmen, especially ones with a little mage ability.
Well, you can count on my abilities to join up with you, at least while it's convenient for both of us. I'd quite like to learn more about that artifact.
Fair enough. Kind of turns to Tyrion. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not extending the same courtesy to you as you creep me the fuck out.
Why is that?
It's because you look like you've been snacking on a corpse, I suppose. A fresh one.
They are only corpse
Great.
after I am done. He smiles.
Kraith is like
That makes it much easier.
Kraith is like counting his fingers, make sure again, like some of those fingers are a bit off.
Yeah, he smiles and he has like the very stereotypical vampire teeth.
Well, you said you've seen some of these ancient things from when you were a child, or young. So yes, I believe you're too senior to be in a company like ours, but I would probably recommend leaving here, as we don't want you to take on any of the blame for what we're going to do.
Oh.
It is the least we can do.
Oh, thank you so much, Jute. I appreciate it quite a bit. I am not interested in your black company, although I do thank you for the easy letdown, as they would say. I am going to, well, have a walkabout and see what I can find. This is my first time here.
Ironically, it will be your last time. But
I didn't mean this town. I meant here. And he kind of makes a flourish with his arms in the air.
Okay, yes then. Well, good journey, and we'll see if we run into each other again.
I have a feeling we will. And he gives a flourish of a bow, and he turns and walks out the door.
That man makes me want to put on a turtleneck sweater.
Oh, indeed. I don't know what to think. Part of me thinks he wants to eat us all. The other part thinks that somehow he, I wouldn't say an ally, but enemy of an enemy is our friend. And kind of gestures to the ward that he claims he put on the ground. But I do believe we should retrieve the Black Company and take what we can from this town and be on our way.
I
She
wholeheartedly
nods.
agree. There's no way I could sleep peacefully with that thing creeping about camp. Do elves sleep? I don't think they do.
I'm half elf, I can say. I sleep,
And he
It's
snores.
the half.
sometimes in the nude even.
It's true. You'll have to get
Jute,
used to it.
we barely just met. Spare me the details, young man.
Young. And with that, he kind of goes to exit the building, and honestly, he's probably going to go retrieve the Black Company. And now Devnet, and I can explain it, never would know the background, but he has no love for Temeria, which Dev would know. And yeah, he's going to loot it.
Take
and
what can be taken.
take what can be taken, and probably to Kraith. So tell me, Kraith, with these inscriptions on the ground, should we burn the buildings or let them stay if they're in other dwellings?
Keep at least one of them open in case we end up needing it.
You do notice that
Oh.
every house has one of those in it. Every building.
Well, perhaps we shouldn't burn it then. Instead, we'll take what we can and, out of the kindness of my own heart, put up a warning for any travelers coming here.
Well, we can
Yeah,
leave
finally.
the corpse of that monster out at the gate. That's pretty good warning.
True.
Yes, only a full-hearted soul would journey into a town. Morning.
Well, hopefully we'll find some food. Feeding the company, it's expensive.
Indeed. Hopefully it's none of this food has some sort of drug or anything that will knock the men out like it did Kraith here.
Tested
still-
on Tiny.
Still a mystery to me what happened, and I'm not wholly satisfied with not having an answer. But I suppose time will tell. Patience has never been a virtue of mine, but now is the time to learn it, I suspect. Either way, Devnet and Jute, my belly's rumbling.
Oh, I think we can scrounge something up. She starts rummaging. Lets a pack slide off of her good shoulder and starts rummaging around in it. Finds, some road bread and breaks him off a piece. So, did you really see something when you were holding that artifact?
Yes, of course. You can trust me. We've been through battles together now, Devnet. I saw a portal into another world. And spires that reached into an azure sky, and circling around their peaks. It was familiar to me. I had a recurring dream like that as a child, just before I touched the source for the first time. And that's not...
Takes a thoughtful bite of the rest of the, piece of flatbread that she took out. And it's an interesting thought. Perhaps there's a world out there that's that different from ours. In this world, there's no peace for anyone, really. Maybe in one of those other worlds, possible to find peace before death.
Pah. All gossip and fairy tales. No other worlds.
But
I
she kind
agree
of
with
looks
you.
at him whimsically and says, "What if there were?"
Are you happy with what you have, Devnet? It could always be worse. From my experience, gilded things bathed in light and beauty, often have a dark side.
True enough. I do try to appreciate the day-to-day. I sometimes do take things for granted until they're gone. And she kind of moves her cape aside to reveal, the pinned up arm of the shirt on the other side.
You hear a
Indeed.
clip clop, clip clop as you're eating and preparing to leave, and you hear that from out on the road somewhere. Like somebody's here.
What's one more surprise for the day? As Dev was kind of gnawing on the bread and chatting with Kraith, he found presumably yet another burlap bag to put another monster head in. Kind of as he was about to start speaking about Toe Rag, the new company mascot, with the sound of the horse cliff pop, he heads outside to see in honesty, to warn off any new traveler, but also to see what the hell is going on.
I want to see this. Oh, I think you guys are on the wrong layer. Maybe. What the hell? Give me a sec. Oh, you guys are in the map. Oh, shit. Sorry, you're in the wrong layer. There we go. You peek out and you see that there's this wagon with two ponies pulling a wagon. It looks like a merchant from what you can tell. And you hear someone say, "Oh, where's everyone?" And when he spots you kind of peeking out, "Oh, hello there. Can you point me to an inn?"
Dev squints at him and then groans. "You've got to be kidding me." And she strides forward and says, "Muggle, how is it that we keep crossing paths this way? Perhaps I'm the one who's under a curse."
Oh, dear. I did not mean to find you, Miss, I forgot your name, sorry.
"Devnet," she says through gritted teeth.
Devnet, so pretty still. How long has it been? 1, 2 years?
"Not long enough," she mutters under her breath. "Well, you seem to be doing all right for yourself, but this town's got nothing for you, Muggled.
What do you mean?
No people, no one to sell anything to."
Well, I should take a look around then.
No, you do not want to do that.
Oh, why not?
It's not...
There's no people here because it's cursed, you oaf.
Show him the head.
He ties the burlap bag, pulling out the monster's head. This is what's in this town.
More than this.
Oh, that is horrifying. Quite horrifying. Well, I should call you my savior, my lady.
Oh, I thank you. A good way to thank me would be just to find somewhere else to peddle your wares, somewhere far away from here.
Seeing Dev's discomfort, Jude comes and warms up. Well, hold on a minute. What wares are you selling, Muggle?
I have all the wares a strong warrior would need. I have toxins and potions. Sold by witchers to me, make you stronger, healthy. Fertility treatments too.
He
wiggles his eyebrows.
Well, and of course we get the old friends discount. The "I didn't kill you when I had the chance" discount.
Why would you kill me? I'm always been a friend to you, my lady.
Muggled, trouble follows you like the east wind.
I didn't know a wind followed me.
Perhaps it's that the wind comes from you, but back
Something
days,
follows.
there's always trouble when... And you're always there when there is.
I think I'm downwind from him now. Krace kind of positions himself so he's not downwind from Mulgut.
Well, let's have a look. And she kind of heaves herself up on the wagon and starts rummaging through everything.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap as usual. Pots and... Don't break my pots!
Don't suppose you're interested in manticore parts? Can hear they can fetch quite a price for any sort of mage or alchemist.
I don't know what a manticore is rightly.
Well, it's this. And he opens up his other burlap bag, pulling out the head of the manticore.
No, I don't think so. I've only known one Witcher, and he was quite hostile. He was a friend of your lady there. Kind of nods to...
Wouldn't call him a friend.
Oh,
Companion of convenience, perhaps.
no, I see. Well,
I
you don't have
think
to keep it under wraps for me. I know about all that back then. Your former boyfriend, I don't think this one would mind much.
I'm sorry, what?
What are you talking about?
I'm just jossing you.
Yeah, well, maybe you better keep your jokes to yourself.
I'm sorry. Well, I guess if there's no one here, I'll be turning around. You got a camp nearby? Perhaps I could spend the night with you folk.
Does
How far-
it have anything useful?
I mean, there's food and stuff.
Yeah.
How far away is that abandoned castle that was the manticore making its home?
Like a few hours.
Well, Magalt, I'm taking my
It's muggled.
men. Yeah, whatever. That's what I thought I said. Magalt, I am gonna stay at an abandoned castle with my men, and I feel, considering the level of dangers in the area, I insist you stay with my soldiers this evening. I would love to hear stories about you and the time you've spent with Devnet in the past.
Yes, we're like star-crossed lovers, never quite on the same path.
Oh, she's a hard one to keep down, isn't she?
She glares at both of them.
He kind of giggles. Well, I'll follow you then. You can ride on my cart if you want.
He kind of gives him directions to where the Black Company is going to hold up for the time being, and we'll meet you at this abandoned castle. My friend Marazzo, a member of the company, will lead the men there. We'll be there in short order.
Are you lying to him?
No,
Okay.
I mentioned last episode that seemed to be, now that the Manticore was dead, a good place to hold up as we got our bearings and decided what we were going to do. And he does so love torturing Devnet from time to time, and this seems like the harmless kind, to him at least.
Yeah. All right. But don't leave me out there too long.
Oh, no, not at all. He kind of waits for him to leave.
Yeah.
All right.
Farewell. And he snaps the reins, and the cart just kind of slowly goes down the road, and you see him turn.
I give him a thumbs up, like, yeah, no, you're going the right way. Once he leaves, he kind of turns to Devnet with a huge shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, I can't wait to hear his stories this evening.
Man doesn't know his arse from a hole in the ground. But he's an albatross around my neck, I swear it.
You're saying he brings trouble whenever he's around you?
He always seems to be there whenever there's something serious amiss. I don't think he causes it, per se, but it's a strange coincidence.
Well, I'll tell you, trouble pays usually.
Muggle doesn't pay, but perhaps we'll be able to find someone who can.
Well, I think this town will. I suppose we might get to it real quick. Search for this coin they were promising me and anything else, and perhaps stock up at the tavern, then make our way to the castle.
Oh, the tavern. She starts looking around.
No, there was food. Marazzo and I ate there, and it wasn't the best, but it filled our belly and was better than road
Yeah,
bread
yeah.
and
Which
dried meat.
building's the tavern?
He points to whichever one is it.
She'll look at the others and say, well, hurry up then.
All right. Yeah, he's going to basically look see if there's a cart and maybe some stabled ponies or mules and load up, including cheap beer and
Yeah, you load up with a
crappy
bit,
food.
all the food, barrels of ale, that sort of thing. You're able to pilfer quite a bit, and kind of start moving it out towards the castle, after Muggles. And yeah, I think we're getting close to the end here. So go ahead and if you have anything final you want to say or do.
As they make their way to the abandoned castle, Jute brings Kraith up to speed on how they got to the town, that they were hired to take care of this beast, a manticore, how Jute killed it with the help of Morazzo, and on return was attacked by the cultists searching for that metallic rod. And then that's basically when they ran into him in the basement. He was most likely going to be sacrificed to whatever evil was in that town.
One thing that's not quite making sense to me, he kind of says, is you're on your horses winding your way up towards the castle. The cultists, what's their identity? Did you know that they were after this rod of many rounds? He just gives it a name. Did you know?
They were chanting that they wanted it. I presume they meant this. And it seemed they were, like I said, under some sort of mind control. I'm not quite sure what, but whoever was controlling them wanted this fairly bad. And I feel that they used us to kill the manticore that was preventing him from retrieving it or trying to find it.
Well, there. In my experience, if one party of mind-numbed cultists want something, that there's certainly going to be at least a second or a third party that wants it as well. And when people are fighting over a precious object, kind of holds his hand up, makes a money sign, there's always some coin to be made.
Let's pretend for a moment that this thing can take you to other worlds, and he's not. This Takarian is not full of himself or making up stories. That would be quite valuable to the person.
Kind of holds his hands up. Hey, I don't want to misrepresent myself. I'm a mage, yes, I can touch the source, but I'm not the type that gets into that sort of thing. Perhaps we can find someone more wise and intelligent than myself. I'm more than happy to share your camp, share your ale, and have a spot of food that doesn't leave me retching on the floor.
Fair enough. Food we can provide. Company and protection we can provide. If you can provide the lore master, I believe is what you called it, to help us better understand this.
With enough time and enough wine and song, perhaps my tongue and mind can be loosened, and perhaps I can remember an old friend or two that can help me with such a thing.
Indeed. In the meantime, I'm sure Mogalt will tell us a great many stories about Devnet's former interests.
Well, Muggles will have a rather quiet night if he wants to keep his pots intact.
Pots.
Jute gives a no fun kind of harumph.
And she kind of gives him a playful shove and says, there's not much you don't know about me anyway, Jute. I'm sure that it would all be old news. However, she looks over at Kraith. Not everybody knows everything about me, and perhaps it's better that it stays that way.
Everybody has their secrets. Sometimes it is folly to delve too deeply and uncover them. Said, there's always a tarnished side to everything shiny. You meet a hero, like I said, a life on the road and a life spent after the pursuit of coin, lovely ladies, song, and wine. Well, that's the life for me.
You're gonna get along right well with Mirazzo then.
Huh?
Thick as thieves they'll be.
And you
that,
pack up your wagon and head the few hours over to where you had killed the manticore. And you see the tents are already struck. You see the banner of the Black Company already flapping in the wind as Mirazzo has brought everyone there as agreed. And that's where we can stop. Short one.
Is that Wanderer's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Spanish ladies' man fencer guy. So I guess like